Welcome to Sea Talk. There are so many important reasons why people should be supporting their local independent retailers right now. But we're going to be talking about just one of those. And the subject that we're going to be covering today is going to be community. And I'm really, really excited to be joined today by Dennis and Linda Williams, who are award-winning retailers on this particular subject as well. I appreciate you're so busy today, so thank you for taking the time to talk to us today. Could you just, for anybody who's watching this video and you might be new retailers to them, could you just tell us a little bit more about your store?
Yeah, Linda and Dennis Williams opened in Oxgangs in 21st of March 1983, joined Premier in 1997, family business. I think there's anything else that you want to add?
1,700 square feet, convenience, news. We have a food-to-go deli, which is really popular and growing all the time. And I think one of the things, apart from a lot of the community stuff that we've done, the other thing that's kept us vibrant and growing is that we are constantly looking at the business, and we've done a lot of refits. So we're always looking forward and trying to move forward.
Fantastic. And have you had one done recently?
We finished it, I think it was about 6 to 8 weeks ago. It was due to start in February. Then, of course, you know what happened. We all know what happened. So as soon as the guys were able to come out and about, we actually got it done.
Fantastic. So I just want to talk about some of the work that you do in the community. Dennis made me laugh earlier because I was asking about whether you were going to be doing the sing-along like you did last year. And he said, I'm really sorry, we can't do that because the kids can't sing. And I thought, for such a kind man, I thought that was a little unkind. I thought they sang really well in the video I saw.
Yeah. Sorry, that was the wrong thing to say. But I think one of the very important things for us, Kate, is we work very closely with our local primary school, which is just 200 or 300 yards over the way. We've got a great relationship with all the teachers and all the children of the whole school. And I think that's been a really, really successful joint partnership.
Fantastic. Yeah, I was just so tell me about why is that important to you? Why, if another retailer is watching this or a new retailer is watching this and thinking, why is that important, and why would you bother taking that time?
Well, I think why it's so important is a very easy answer. It's your next generation of customers. I would say that's very important. A link, and plus, you know, the families, you get to know everybody. I think it's a great stepping stone for your next generation of customers.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
Want to add anything on that, Linda?
I think also, if you think back to when you were a child, you probably remember the shop where you bought sweeties. And the shop
I grew up at my mum and dad's shop.
Well, there you go.
I used to do this and then nick the sweets.
But most people
Mum and dad had the newspapers, but of course I do. After that, I remember cycling, and me and my friends would go and buy chocolate and all sorts. Yes,
and I think it kind of keeps that. It's a continuity. Family values as well. It impresses the family values, and I think us being a family business, it's all the more important that we embrace everybody as a family.
Absolutely. So when we were talking about the kids, and obviously these photos are fantastic, and in so many ways they just warm the heart, but I also feel this kind of, oh gosh, there's just none from recently. I mean, how have you managed to do community work without being close to anybody right now? Have you been doing anything recently, or has that put a stop to anything? What have you been up to?
I'll let my wife answer this one, because my wife and my daughter thought up a great idea very, very start of the pandemic. So I'll pass you over to my wife on this one, Kate.
Well, obviously we've not been able to do any of the usual stuff, but I started in about, I think it was March, end of March, early April. I started making up sandwiches to put in the chiller, and I wrote on the sandwiches, these are free, please help yourself if you're struggling, because I was aware that there were quite a lot of people who were struggling. And one or two people messaged me on Facebook and said, look, can we contribute? We really want to help you. We want to give you money for the bread or money for the ham or whatever. And then one or two other people said, can we not just give you some money for people? So we started a Facebook fundraising page. We didn't tell Dennis. Sophie and I just sat one afternoon after work and we thought, right, let's just start a fundraiser. What are we going to raise? So we picked a figure out the air. We picked £300 and we said, and we'll match it. And within 40 minutes, we had the £300. And by this time, but I think by an hour and a half after that, we'd raised something like £1,200. And I was absolutely panicking because I'd said to Dennis, I hadn't told Dennis about this, and I'd already said we were going to match it. But ultimately, the fund raised in the region of £10,000. And it was online donations, it was donations in store. I had people from all over the country as well. Friends from years ago, friends from different walks of life, just even strangers who saw what I said and it rang a bell with them. And I think people also at that time, they were really looking for some way to contribute to make a lot of people were stuck at home, not able to do anything. They were aware that key workers are out working all the time and they're maybe at home on furlough. I think they felt they were getting off lightly, and it gave them a way of feeling that they were part of this great community effort. So we're keeping the fund going. We've helped about 150 families now. We don't give out cash. We only give out groceries, electricity or gas. So there's no way it can be abused. So we've got quite strict control over it because obviously it's a big responsibility because it's not my money. I've got to make sure that it goes to where it's really needed. We've also had social workers getting in touch with us, the health visitor from the local health centre, who've nominated families that they feel need a bit of extra help. So it was very humbling to see the outpouring of love from people, for people who were less fortunate than themselves.
And I think one of the big things, Kate, is you're heading today as community. I think what we've seen in the pandemic has been a very, very reborn community spirit. And I think it's brought a lot of people together. And I think it's been fantastic for our sector, the convenience sector.
And so, I mean, recently I've spoken to a number of retailers, and there are some that just don't feel that. So what do you think, how do you think you've got that within the area that you are in? And do you think the store has a part to play with that? And do you have any tips?
I think we are, the area we're in does have quite a villagey sort of feel. It is quite a community focused place. It's a suburb of Edinburgh. But I think because we've done that kind of thing for so long, that kind of feeling is there and people are familiar with us doing that kind of activity. Also, I think because supermarkets were so overwhelmed at the beginning, a lot of people suddenly realized, oh, we've got local shops. Why don't we go there? So they were able to use us. They were surprised to find that they could get just as much from us at just as good prices most of the time as they could from a supermarket without having to queue for an hour and a half, and just as safely with social distancing, with hand gel and all the rest of it. So that was a big eye-opener to a lot of people. We also found people doing shopping for neighbours, but the big thing that we've carried on, something we've always done, but that really came into its own, was the free home delivery service. And our daughter took that on as her own project. And she went onto Facebook and did a lot of publicity about how this would work. So basically, between 9 and 11, customers phone in, tell us over the phone, tell Sophie over the phone what they want. She makes up the order and it's delivered by lunchtime. So it's the same day delivery. We don't charge. It can be completely contactless. And it has been literally a lifesaver for so many people because they couldn't get a supermarket slot. Supermarkets charge for delivery, and if you're on a low income, £5 to get shopping delivered is a big chunk of your budget. So that's been a huge success, and I think also it's raised our profile within the community. People seeing the van going out and the staff carrying bags of shopping up people's garden paths, and that's definitely really raised our profile within the community. And I would urge other retailers to get involved in something like that. You're really missing a trick if you're not doing something like that.
I think with tips, Kate, as well, is I think that when we first, if I think going back all the years when we first started, we started doing very, very, very small events, like we had a fun day, you know, once a year, we used to, you know, ask our local dance troops, like our Highland dancers, bellettes. And I think for any store, starting off now, or want to be more or a bigger part of your community, is to start things small and growing it, you know. And listen, I think that's the best way to move forward.
Charity events are always really popular, especially if it's a local charity.
Yeah.
Bake sales, fun days, face painting, art competitions,
Halloween, you know, Christmas.
Speaking of Halloween and face painting, I did enjoy this one.
Oh yeah. Well, I have been called a bandit before, Kate.
I'm not sure if the wee one on the right really wants to be there or not. She's really embodying Wednesday Addams there.
I think, Kate, for any business, if they start anything small, you know, there's I think events. If you work round events, you know, the main events, and you do something small, and
don't bite off more than you can chew.
Yeah,
because you want it to work.
Yes.
So you don't want to do something and it's a disaster. So start small and work your way up.
And I think the other thing, you always want to get your staff on board. That's so important as well. Make them feel part of the team, part of the workplace, part of the community, and it's a win-win-win.
Oh, don't stop.
No,
I thought the audio had stopped.
Oh, sorry.
No.
So I think that's some of the tips that we'd certainly give out. And as you can see with some of the photos that we've sent you, that they've all been a really success. But we just started small, and that's how we've grown our.
But we've done a lot of work with suppliers and things like sampling, new products, new flavors. That always goes down really well. Suppliers are quite keen to get involved, and for 2 or 3 cases of stock, you can really create a buzz around a new product. So that's certainly a good way to start.
And certainly one of the sleeping giants, Kate, is social media and Facebook. That's a must.
One of my questions. No, that's fantastic.
Sorry,
tell us.
If I stole your question.
No, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. How do you leverage it? What do you do to make it
once again, we started off, you know, just with small things, small ideas, you know, liking shares and new products, working with suppliers, working with local companies, and obviously my wife and my daughter. I've done loads of work on their Facebook page, especially my daughter's done a lot of it as well. And we've just grown the numbers. I think we've now got 2,400 followers now. So
variety is important. So don't just put a price and a poster. No. You know, try and do a mixture of pictures, of little stories, videos. Competitions. So one of the things that we do every week, we do a like and share competition, and it's usually a prize. Probably we mostly get things donated by a supplier. It could be a bottle of spirits, or it could be a pie, you know, a family pie from the butcher, something like that. We promote the price, we promote the product, and we say to the customers, if you like and share this video, you could be in with the chance of winning this product. And that way you get all your shares up, and that way you build up your numbers.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of the work we've done is we've promoted the national lottery in a big way as well, Kate, with some of the rollovers, which today is it's 175 million. You know, so again,
so that's an easy one to start off with, you know, and it does drive your footfall.
I think again, it's starting small, you know, and then moving forward, picking up some ideas. I'm sure that if people go into other Facebook's page, other retailers, will see lots of great work it's done on Facebook now, and especially on social media. Yeah,
I really do. So your recent win, I say recent, but your win at the Retail Industry Awards for the Community Retailer of the Year. Congratulations, by the way. But this is a tweet, isn't it, or a Facebook post from your local MP?
Yes, and I think that's one of the other things that I think that every retailer should be very close to, is working with your local councillors, your local MP, and in Scotland we have our MSPs as well. So to me, that is it's always a massive opportunity for you to work with your local councillors, MP, and MSPs. It gets you to know them. There might be something in planning that comes up. that they can help you, they can give you advice, they know the people to speak to in the council or the parliament or houses of commons. It is so important that you get in touch with all of your councillors and MPs and MSPs, and we invite them up to the store on quite a regular basis. So to me, that's another top tip for me.
Great. And if there's
generally, they're quite happy to be involved as well. They're usually quite happy to come along because they love a photo opportunity.
Yeah, and it's getting their profile higher as well. That although there might be an MP, an MSP, or a councillor in a certain area, Kate, they might not know everybody. And if they're at that event, like say we had events in a local primary school, there's 450 kids. You know what I mean, with some of the parents here as well. It's a great opportunity for them as well to get to know a lot more people. So it's a win-win for both parties.
Yeah, totally. So you mentioned suppliers. Is there any suppliers that have been particularly supportive over the last year in particular that you'd like to give a shout out?
Walkers are always good, particularly when they've got new products out for sampling and tasting, things like that.
And Heineken have been good as well.
Fantastic, yes.
We've got a bit. I think one of the things, Kate, for me is being in the trade a long time, and Linda as well, is I think the most important thing, it's all about building up relationships. If you have a local rep who comes in and you get to know them, you build up a relationship and you work as a partnership, you get things done. There's loads of opportunities you can do with working with different groups, with different suppliers. And I think that goes a long way as well. It doesn't matter who you're working with. It's got to be a working partnership on any front. And that's definitely what helps you moving forward. And especially with suppliers as well, because I mean, if you think if you're getting a new product, you're putting on your Facebook page, there's 2,400 people seeing that new product that maybe wouldn't see it. So have you got anything to add on that,
really,
Linda?
No.
Well, obviously you've got reps coming into your store. If, for example, you're a retailer and you haven't got a rep for a particular company coming through the door, something like CTalk could potentially help you, because you can log on to the website, you can sign in and create your own profile. It's a bit like a LinkedIn, but for the convenience trade. And you can find suppliers on the CTalk website. So please do, if you've not done so already. I think the address is right along the bottom there for retailers to sign in and sign up to CTalk and talk to suppliers. And suppliers are signing up because they want to talk directly to retailers. They want to find out which retailers want to stock their products as well. So do sign up. So you've talked about a number of suppliers that have been supportive, but I understand Booker have also been supportive of something else that you've been working on in store, which is the introduction of the defibrillator.
We did a fundraising in store to. We knew we wanted to put a defibrillator out there, but we thought the best way to get the community to know about it, to value it, is for the community to pay part of it. So we fundraised as much as we could, and then Booker helped us get the rest of the money. It's not a cheap thing to get, but it's very worthwhile. It's directly outside the store. Obviously, the electricity supply comes from the store, and it wasn't used for about the first 9 to 10 months, and then it was used 3 times in 1 week, which was absolutely freaky. Fortunately, each time it was taken out, it didn't actually have to be used. It was a precautionary thing, but it just shows that it really can save a life. And I'm happy to say it's not needed to be used since. However, everybody knows it's there.
Yeah. And I think I was saying to you earlier, Kate, that out a double-decker bus, anybody that has a heart attack on that double-decker bus, there's only one person survives. So, you know, it's quite scary. There's obviously not enough of them in every area, and we're just so lucky that we've got one outside our store, and that could save one of your customers. It could save anybody, you know, because it's all linked to the Scottish Ambulance and service as well, so they know exactly what all the defibs are. So if there's a 999 call goes in and anybody's nearby, they know they can run up.
The ambulance service send them directly to the nearest defib with the code to open the box.
Yeah, so that's how it works. So it's been, again, that's been fantastic for the community as well.
And it has
Right.
not been vandalised,
And
as
it's
everybody predicted it would be. It
Yeah.
hasn't been. And I think that's partly because the community knows that it has ownership of it.
Yeah, big time. And thank you once again for coming and sharing all of your tips with our audience today. I really appreciate it. I know you're super busy today. Congratulations on everything that you do locally, and of course within the Convenience Network, and sharing what you do. And I wish you both and your staff a wonderful, fantastic Christmas.
And
Thank you.
same to you, Kate. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.